So look, this is going to be a quick video, hopefully, depends how much I ramble. I've obviously been away from this channel for a while, and I guess there's a few reasons for that. Predominantly, I actually had an editor working with me for the last 6-ish months, something like that, and so doing these sort of things is difficult. In the meantime, he's now finished up with me. I'm back working on my own. But in the meantime, I guess what with him kind of leaving, I've had my car blow up and had to replace that. I've had to move house, which is why this setup is a little bit different from previous videos. Just the way the shop looks and stuff like that. And I'm kind of testing it, I guess, before I go in, because we might as well multitask before we put it to use in other places. But I figured more recently that I kind of lost my motivation a little bit. Work, in all honesty, has been on a little bit of a decline. With the editor leaving, I obviously had well, not obviously, but I had a hump of work to sort out. And I've got through that, but then on the back end, there's just been like a channel, not really too much. So I've still got stuff on and still bits coming in, but it's just not been as busy, which I don't know, I get very ingrained in just doing clients' work. And when that drops off, there's always this first couple of days where I'm like, sweet. And then after that, you start to get a bit worried because you're not sure where the income's coming from. But there's this bit in between where you're like, yes, I can kind of work on my business and improve and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, like recently I feel like I've lost a bit of motivation, but it's also come back in the last kind of day or so. And I wanted to talk about not finding motivation, because I've kind of talked about that before, and it's kind of quite a complex subject, I guess. But I wanted to talk about the things that I've been doing. How do I explain this? So I wanted to talk about more of a principle, and that principle is knocking into some of the stuff that I'm doing to, I guess, improve my company. And the principle is around dealing with clients and the way that you deal with clients. And I think this isn't just about videography as a business. I think it is all businesses. So the principle is really around confidence and knowledge. I think what I see is a lot of businesses being, especially when they're new, being not confident in what they're doing. And that comes across more in the way that they deal with clients. So they will feel like they're telling clients what to do or what not to do is rude. And in a way, it can be if you deal with it incorrectly and don't communicate properly. But what I've been working on for the business is actually how we work document. And it's something I've wanted to do for a while, but I've almost felt, I felt like it's difficult to do, because trying to tell someone how you work when you're in a service business is difficult. But I've written a sort of a 3-page outline that tries to explain what we do as a business, how we do it, the fact that we're successful in it. So ultimately the underlying piece here is really like, you need to trust us, and some housekeeping rules. And I think these are really needed by me. I think, like, I get clients who text me and call me on the weekends. I had a client this morning text me at 6:30 in the morning, and that's fine, but I don't think it's that appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate for me to do to other people, and I don't think it's appropriate for people to do to me. In a way, I don't mind if they try and contact me, but it's when they get irritated that you don't go back to them within that sort of time frame. And that can happen, yeah, all the time outside of hours. The other one I tend to get is Facebook. Facebook private message, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And for me, I'm very much focused on email as a tool to communicate with people. It's written, it's prioritizable, you can make sure you're keeping track of stuff. And when you start to merge, your personal phone with your work phone, your personal account of Facebook with your work account or work information, that's where you lose track of stuff. And I'm very much a believer in tools, systems, processes, and basically project management to make sure stuff gets done successfully. So hopefully this document will provide a bit more structure to people and basically give them a prompt to be like, whoa, hang on, you know, we're not necessarily ignoring you, we may be working on with other clients, and just as the way you wouldn't want your shoot interrupted, we're not going to let you interrupt somebody else's shoot. So we're trying to realign clients. And as I said at the beginning, like, I think that one of the things we do as business owners when we first start is that we're worried about being impolite or rude and not telling people basically what the rules are. And what this leads to is kind of people just doing whatever they want, and then we get irritated by it. So I think the way that this can be dealt with as business owners is to think about not necessarily being rude, but being confident and professional. They are contacting you, they're employing you because you have a service, whatever that may be, and they're coming to you because they think that you can do it. And what they need to recognize is the way that you do it is gonna be successful. Like, this, the actual process of how you actually do something is what delivers the end product. And I think the sooner you can align clients into what you want from them and how they should act, the better. And I guess a good example is this: when you walk into a shop, you know, say it's a Saturday, and Saturday morning you walk into a shop of your chosen destination, and you go looking for something. And if you get the squeaky teen, like, you know, the work experience guys, like, hi, can I help you? And then your instant reaction is that, nah, this guy is not going to be any use whatsoever. If they start picking things up and reading the instructions to you, you know that they don't have as much knowledge as they should do. But if you rock in there and somebody comes up to you and you say, you know, here's my question, or I'm looking for this, here's my problem that they're bringing to you as a business owner, and you say to them, absolutely, okay, this is what you need. You need product A, B, and C, and then what you do is you take product A and you use it in this way, and once you've done that, you use product B, and that will bring you this. You start, like, we're seeking that reassurance as a customer that we know what we're talking about. So I think it's something that I'm always constantly having to evaluate. Like, we always have new clients coming through, and trying to manage all of them is, you know, different in each case. But I'm trying to reassure myself that by telling people how we work and that gets a successful outcome is not necessarily being rude, it's actually helping them to have a successful product. I've literally had 2 what I would call customer realignment phone calls this afternoon, where the entire purpose is really to try and get the client to understand what we're trying to achieve, and that we've got a work methodology to get there, and that they need to be a part of it. Don't get me wrong, when you know the clients send in those emails that you're just like, why are you acting this way? Don't get me wrong, I still fire up, but I guess what I've learned is I have to step back, work out, okay, this is what we're going to present to them, and then actually go forward and be like, look, I'm trying to help you, but I need you to kind of listen to what I'm saying, and this is how we're going to go forward. Anyway, that is my short video that I'm multitasking to see whether this little setup works in my new office. I am definitely feeling more motivated. I think one of the big things that I'm learning at the moment is that I do actually need some personal projects. Whilst work is good and focusing on the business is good, and I still need some sort of personal projects, and they are still within video and photo. Some variety would be nice, but I think those personal projects are what keeps my brain firing on tasks to basically just improve as a person, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, whatever. As ever, I hope you've enjoyed watching the video, even though they are really only designed for me to look back reflectively and just some self-learning. But if you are watching, do appreciate any comments, like, subscribe, blah, 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 YouTube stuff down the bottom. And as ever, I'll see you in the next video.